Hello students, today we are going to proceed in the chapter of electromagnetism, and today we are going to see Ampere's circuital law. The law states that the line integral of magnetic field around any closed path is equal to mu 0 times the net current threading through the area enclosed by the path. That is, integration of B dot dl is equal to mu 0 I. Now, what does this law actually mean? Let us see this. See, this is as you can see in the figure, this is a closed path. We call it Amperian loop. Whenever we are going to apply this law, we have to select a Amperian loop. So now you can see I1, I2, I3 is passing towards this way and I4 is going downward. So the net current passing through the closed path is I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4. Ampere circuital law has this. Okay, so this is the total current. So we will write here integration of B dot dl is equal to, now what is B? B is the electric field and dl is the small part of this line integral. This small part. If this curve is a circle, then integration dl will be 2 pi r, and this way is equal to mu 0 net current. Here the net current is what? I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4. So here we can write mu 0 I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4. Okay. So this is the meaning of what? This is actually the meaning of the Ampere circuital law. That the law states that the line integral of magnetic field B along a closed path is equal to mu 0 times the total current crossing the area bounded by the closed path. Okay. So mu 0 times this area bounded by the closed path. Okay. Now we will see some application of Amperian circuital law. Now, as I told you, it is an analogous to the Gauss law, and here in this, by the help of Ampere circuital law, we can simplify many derivations. For example, this one derivation we have done in the very long way by the help of the Biot-Savart law. So we have done this B equal to mu 0 by 2 pi I by r. This we have done by the help of Biot-Savart law in a very lengthy way. But since it is a symmetrical circuit, we can easily do it in very shortcut method by the help of Ampere circuital law. How? See. So this is a long infinite conductor. So and we want to find, this is a long infinite conductor and we want to find the magnetic field at this point at P. What is the magnetic field at P? So what we are doing, we have to, before we want to apply the Amperian law, we have to consider a Amperian loop. So this is our Amperian loop. Okay, and this loop is passing through the point P, and suppose the distance is r. So now the current, only I current is passing through this loop. Only one current, that is I, is crossing the loop. So if we apply the ACL, that is the Ampere circuital law, so we will get integration of B dot dl is equal to mu 0 I. Now see, if we go to the remove the vector notations, then because we can see that dl and I are perpendicular, sin 90 is 1. So here we can see that dl are along the same direction. So dl and B are in the same direction. So cos 0 is 1. So if we are removing the B, because B and dl, these two vectors are parallel. So if we are removing the vector notation, we will get integration of B dl. Now B is constant, so integration of dl. Now what is this dl? dl is a part of this circle. dl is the part of this circle. So if you integrate, the line integral of dl will be the whole circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r. So integration of B dot dl is equal to B into 2 pi r. Now 2 pi r is, so according to Amperian circuital law, integration of B dot dl is equal to mu 0 I. So here I am writing at is equal to mu 0 I. So from this we can get. So you can see very easily we have obtained the formula of this as we have done before by Long method. So this is the advantage of ACL. Now there are some other things that we can derive, but derivations are not required in the IC in our board. So I am just giving the formula. Magnetic field due to a long straight solenoid. Now what is a solenoid? You must have studied in class 10 also. A solenoid is a circular coil whose length is greater than the diameter. So solenoid is a coil whose length is greater than the diameter. We call it what? A solenoid. Okay. Now see. So what is the formula? Just to keep in mind, B is equal to mu 0 Ni. What mu 0 you know? Permittivity, N number of coils, and I is the total amount of current passing through the solenoid. Now magnetic field at the end of solenoid B end is equal to half mu 0 Ni. Okay, toroid. Now toroid is a hollow circular ring on which large number of turns of laminated conducting wire such as copper are closely wound. It can be thought of a solenoid which has been cut into circular shape and closed to itself. So you can see this is a ring on which large number of insulated copper wire is wound. So this whole thing is called toroid. Now what is the magnetic field of the toroid? So magnetic field of the toroid is, as we have done in the case of solenoid, same. B is equal to mu 0 Ni. B is equal to what? Mu 0 Ni. Just keep this, write this formula somewhere. Keep in mind because this will be required for the numericals. Okay. Now we are coming to the next topic. Force on a moving charge in uniform magnetic field and electric field. That is Lorentz force. Now what is actually Lorentz force? See, we have seen that when we keep a charge, a charge in an electric field experiences a force. When a charge is placed in an external electric field, means the electric field due to some other charge, then it experiences a force. We call this force as Lorentz. We call this force the force due to electric field, as we have studied in the first chapter in the electric field. And what was the magnitude? E into Q. Similarly, if we place a moving charge in a magnetic field, then it will also experience a force. And what is the magnitude of the force? We have already studied BQV sin theta. Okay. Now, Lorentz said that if we place a charge in such a way, in such a place where there is both, means electric field also and magnetic field also, then the total force experienced by the charge is called the Lorentz force. So what will be the total force? Force due to the electric field and force due to the magnetic field. Now let us assume that the charged particle is moving not parallel to the direction of magnetic field. The charged particle is moving not parallel to the direction of magnetic field. Because you know very well, if the direction of magnetic field and the motion of the charged particle is same, then what will happen? Then the effect of magnetic field will become zero. So here total force is given by QE. This QE is what? The force due to the electric field, and BQV sin theta is due to the magnetic field. So this is the total force experiencing by a charged particle which is moving in an electric field, and there is also a magnetic field which is not parallel to the direction of motion. Okay. Now next thing. Suppose we are placing a conductor through which current is passing. In a magnetic field, in a external magnetic field. As you can see, this cross means what? That magnetic field is going inside the paper. Okay, up to down. And here we are placing a conductor in the magnetic field. Then what will happen? This conductor through which current is passing, so we can say charges are flowing through the conductor. So these charges will experience a force. These microscopic charges will experience a force, and as this conductor is made up of charges, so on the total this conductor will also experience the force because of the charges. So what is the total force experienced by a conductor is given here. F is equal to IBL sin theta. So F is equal to IBL sin theta. This is a very important relation. So when a conductor of length L through which I current is passing, L, so this, suppose this is a conductor of length L through which I current is passing, and this conductor is placed in a place where the magnetic field is B, where the magnetic field strength is what? B. Then the total force experienced by this conductor, the force experienced by this conductor is equal to F is equal to IBL sin theta. So F is equal to what? IBL sin theta. This is the total force experienced by the conductor. Okay, but keep in mind, when this force will be zero, if the direction of magnetic field and the motion of the electrons or the particles are same, then the force will be zero. So from here we can deduce that direction of magnetic field. What is the direction of magnetic field? So direction of magnetic field is that direction where the force experienced by this conductor is zero. What we can say? The direction of magnetic field along a current carrying conductor does not experience any force is called the direction of magnetic field. Means if I keep a conductor in such a way that this is in a magnetic field but still it is experiencing no force, then what we can say? That this is the direction of magnetic field. Okay. Now see, force between two long and parallel current carrying conductor. See, we know that same charges repel, opposite charges attract. Here also we are seeing something. It has been experimentally observed that two current carrying conductors attract each other. Two current carrying conductors attract each other when the current in them are in the same direction. Means suppose I have, these are two wires carrying same current in the same direction, so they will experience a force of attraction, and if the current are flowing in opposite direction, then they will experience a force of repulsion. Now we are interested to find the magnitude of this force. Suppose this is a wire and this is a wire. So what is the force of attraction between them? And from there we will derive the definition of ampere. Now see, you first of all think that this wire is not there. Only there is one wire carrying current I1. And at this point, what will be the magnetic field? The magnetic field at this point will be B is equal to mu 0 by 2 pi I1 by R. This will be the magnetic field at this point. Okay. Now suppose we are placing a conductor of length L. We are placing a conductor at this point of length L through which I2 current is passing. Now at this point we are placing a conductor parallel to it of length L through which I2 current is passing. Then what will be the value of B? Then what will be the force on this conductor? F is equal to I2 BL, I2 into B into L. That is I2 into, from this you put the value, and F by L will be this. Now, so F by L will be what? Mu 0 by 2 pi I1 I2 by R. Now suppose this I1 I2 are same and R is 1 meter. So what will I get? Mu 0 F by L is equal to mu 0 by 2 pi I square, because R is 1 meter. Now what is the value of mu 0 by 2 pi? That is what? So that is 2 into 10 to the power minus 7. So suppose if you are taking I1, then F by L, this whole thing will become, I is 1, R is 1, then this value of F by L will become what? 2 into 10 to the power minus 7. So from here we can see that 1 ampere is that current such that which if it flows, 1 ampere current is the steady current which when flows in each of two infinitely long parallel conductors 1 meter apart produces a force of this much Newton per meter between them. So from here we are getting the definition of 1 ampere. Okay students, that's all for today.